It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I'm joined by Don Jeffrey, master brewer. Well, you've been brewing all over the country, haven't you, Don?
Well, I've spent 47 years of my life in the brewing industry. I've now retired from the brewing industry. I know I don't look that sort of age. I know I look only 48, but yeah, I spent a lot of time at Brewing University, then 10 years with, am I allowed to mention companies?
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
10 years with Encourage, 5 years with Guinness, a couple of years on the Isle of Man, and the past 26 years in Brains Brewery in Cardiff. Now I'm finished, I'm a free man. I'm now going on other enterprises, but being in the brewing industry all my life, it's all I know, it's all I love, and it's all what I live and breathe about.
And very, very nicely at Brains. I like this. They're a family-run company, Brains. It's all about the region, and nicely they've produced this old tricks between yourself and Brains Brewery to mark your retirement. How did you feel when they approached you to say that, okay, you've been with us a long time, we're going to brew a beer to say farewell? Was it nice?
Well, it didn't work that way because they said, would you actually like to come up with a recipe to celebrate the leaving of yourself from the company? Having developed a few recipes with the company as well, some which are notable, some which are less notable, we came up with, I've suggested this recipe, which is it's an alt beer, which means an old beer, which has got nothing to do with the fact that I maybe am old, but however, it seemed to be fitting for the occasion.
Yeah.
And alt beers are German brewed beers, that's where the recipe was derived from. And there's also Munich malt in there, and there is a lot of noble hops in there, which we'll see in a moment. And it's brewed with a genuine Dusseldorf yeast as well. Because a lot of people think, oh, we use the same yeast all the time. No. A lot of these specials are brewing specially unique yeast for the occasion. I was given the privilege of being able to obtain this Dusseldorf yeast for this alt beer, and it came out very well. It was only a one-off. The majority of the product went into the trade as cask conditioned beer, and there are a small number of bottles produced for myself. I wasn't there at the time, but they said, here you are, these are for you. This is one of them, a very limited edition. Where we are, there are no more. But thanks to Brains, they produced the label, the artwork, and the
signature.
And the signature on the back as well. You can read the details about it later on. But can we come to that bit later on as well?
Why is it called Old Tricks?
Well, it's because my prime love in life is the brewing industry and beer. I've been in it all my life, as we've spoken about. But I'm also a magician as well. I do magic as well, close-up magic entertainment. I do weddings, functions and the like, for receptions and the like, and that's my second major love. It's spend time reading and all the rest of it. It's sad, I know it, but that's what I do. But we're here to start off with this. In the first instance, could we just have a look at the bottle? We've had a look at the bottom of the label. It's with the Brains Craft Brewery seal on top. This was produced by the Brains Craft Brewery by me, and that was a great day doing that. There was a lot of support doing that. I didn't bottle it, others bottled it for me because it was after I left. But however, if we continue with opening the seal, would you like to do the honours of opening the
well, let's get this beer out into a glass and see what we get. And well, for me it's a bit of a momentous moment, really. It's history. It's history. It'll be on YouTube forever. There you go. We have been walking around Cardiff, so it has been in our bags. So yeah, an alt beer. What are we looking for in an alt beer, Don?
Well, we'll be looking for a lot of multi-flavour, high malting, not sit into there. It should be very robust flavour. It's a very round flavour. It's drinking beer, which is medium in colour. It's been, it would have a brownish sort of head. You'll notice that the head is very, very tight, which means there's a lot of protein in there for the malt.
Yeah.
And this is, it's not collapsing immediately, but why they call it, the beer that's, the malt beer is full of flavour, and it's got an aromatic, which I think I'd like to have a go at now.
Let's have a look at the aromatic. Let's get our nose into this one.
Oh, yes.
Mmm.
Now, in there,
Raisin.
well, there's raisin as well, which comes from the fermentation on there of the coloured malts that have been in there, but also there is the subtle aroma of the noble hop in there as well, which are Hallertau hops, which have been put in there specifically to meet the needs of the business. And why they call it an alt beer and old tricks is because it's amazing that before your very eyes the product is very light and can support itself before your very eyes. Which is why I like the product. And cheers.
Cheers.
Let's now try the flavour.
Look at the flavour of this beer. It's like magic in a glass.
What do you pick up there?
A lot of malt. A lot of that, as you say, a Hallertau hop.
Yeah.
Very nice, crisp, refreshing beer. It's got a lot of German characteristics to the beer. You get that Munich malt, as you say, that Munich yeast, did you mention earlier?
Yeah, well, Dusseldorf yeast.
Dusseldorf yeast, you get that. It's crisp, it's refreshing, and for me this is a beer you could drink summer or winter. You could put this in the fridge, cool it down slightly, enjoy it in the summer, or you could leave it on the side of the counter, in your kitchen, in the winter, and equally enjoy it. So it's an all-rounder for me, it's an all-year-round beer.
I was very surprised and pleasantly surprised the way it came out as well, because it's not satiated because of the amount of Munich malt that is in there.
Yeah.
A lot of the crystal malts, coloured malts that are in there. I thought it would come out more satiating than that, but as you say, it's very fruity, very well balanced. It's not overly bitter, it's not overly sweet or satiating. There is a balance to it, and I'm not going to leave this behind.
No.
I'm going to drink it all.
Absolutely.
And I know it's a one-off. I'd like to think that it might be a two-off, but that's down to brains.
Yeah. It's a beer that certainly, if there was a festival,
Yeah.
a beer festival, then you could look at this is what they have in hand. If there was a German beer festival,
Have you seen how the
that lovely
head
cream.
retention and foam is maintaining itself there?
Yeah.
The carbonation would be around probably 2.8 volumes, getting on for 5.5, 6 grams per litre, which is quite highly carbonated in the big scheme of things, but look at the carbonation on there, which gives you that nice CO2 tingle, carbon dioxide tingle, which also has the effect of diluting any flavours that might be there, which might be too imposing. But there aren't any of those imposing flavours in it.
It's a super refreshing beer, super refreshing. Now, with an alt beer, can I ask you on this? Apologies in advance for my naivety on this style of beer. Is it an ale or is it a lager?
A very interesting question. What's the difference between an ale and a lager?
This style of beer, this alt beer, is it a lager or a beer?
In the big scheme of things, it would be a German-produced lager beer.
Right, okay.
Because bear in mind that all beers in Germany can vary in the colour spectrum from a light colour to a dark colour, from the light coloured pilsners that we all do, which is the biggest selling lager type in the world, through to ambers, through to dark Munich type lagers.
Yeah.
And the fact is it was produced with a Dusseldorf yeast, which is a bottom fermenting yeast, as opposed to some lagers in Germany which are produced with top fermenting yeast, notably Kölsch from Cologne. This has been used by using the traditional materials, the traditional yeast, and it's actually paid off.
Yeah.
I was more than surprised when it came out. I was well surprised, and I hope Brent's doing it again.
I think this is a very, very good beer. Very, very good beer. It's a beer that is very German, and from a Welsh brewery, from an I suppose English or Welsh. Your nationality? I've never asked your nationality. It's a good style of beer, whether you're English or Welsh, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that you've produced a German style beer.
I'm not English, I come from West Hartlepool.
West Hartlepool. You know, yeah, okay. So what essentially we have here is an English brewer, brewed by a Welsh company, but the style of beer is German. So a beer really from, well, it's a multinational beer. It's a multinational alt beer. I like it. I'm going to put myself under pressure now and rating in front of you.
Well, yeah, we've had this a few months ago about rating beers. I don't enter into rating beers. I can't on this one because it's subjective, but I would give it 10 out of 10. What would you rate it as?
Do you know, I've drunk many alt beers in my time on my channel, and if you give me this as a blind tasting, then I would say, yeah, this is absolutely spot on to the style. So, being an alt beer, being great tasting, being refreshing, I'm going to join Don on a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for me, that great beer.
Thanks very much indeed for that.
Happy retirement.
Thank you very much indeed for that. And by the way, don't try this at home, kids.
Oh, okay, don't take your fingers off. Don and his tricks, Don and his old tricks. This was recorded in the City Arms in August 2014. Thanks for watching. Cheers.